waking up the masses. It's your baby mama's favorite astrologer.
Like, can I get 5 more minutes?
Scrape that crust off that third eye and tap in with Hood in the morning. From Atlantis to Egypt, you are now tapped in with the realest nigga on the internet, the Hood Mystic. The Hood Mystic.
You are now tapped in with the Hood Mystic, your favorite astrologer's favorite astrologer, your favorite mystic's favorite mystic. Time to tap in now. You are traveling with the Hood Mystic.
You are now tapped in.
Stop the music for a second, man. Hold on, time out. 1, 2, yo, take the music for a second. Cut the music, yo, hit that shit, money. Hammer. What's wrong with you, man? Cut that shit, Hammer. Crazy niggas all together now. Stupid motherfucker. Peace to the G's, every black people out there.
Motherfucking divine.
Tell all your black people out there.
Peace to the God, motherfucker, ever said, yo.
The black man is God and the black woman is the earth and the queen, all right? All right? I said all right? Oh, goddamn right. Now we're gonna do it up like this.
To the family, happy that you are here this evening. Without any further ado, let's talk about it. How's everybody feeling this evening? Let me have this play. Let me have this play the whole time. Just lower it down in the background. Peace to the family. Hope everyone is doing well. You know, the kids are in the background, the fireworks are going off, but I gotta get this video off and really talk about this full moon. I'm the Hood Mystic, representing www.hoodmystic.com, and really want to go through my notes with you guys on this full moon, up and like giving you the full moon vibes. Hopefully you've been feeling this energy. I've been doing a lot of work to, you know, help people get in contact with this energy. And in this video, I just really want to talk about it. Hope everybody, you know, is in the vibrations. And if not, let's talk about how to actually get us there. I just want to give y'all an update. So on my last video, let me move this chat box. Peace to the family for showing up. In my last video, we discussed Korean games. You got to check out that last video I did on matter of fact, Brandy, you throwing me off. And it's a lot, you know. Full moon energy is never kind of calm, so you got to really be the calm, right? Because if you waiting for the calm, good luck. So the last video we were talking about the divine energy of Medusa, and I told and I told y'all about Corinne Gaines, and you know, this was 4 to 5 days. I didn't even know she was in court. I told people to read the story to get in line with the energy, and yeah, it just found out that, you know, on the 1st, which was a few days ago, after I put out the video, her family got $38 million in the appeal. They won the case, but then the judge took the money away, but then they kept fighting, and you know, they got the money back. So I really, in these types of situations, family, we have to celebrate people's wins, you know, because if it's not happening for you, person be like, well, how you celebrating that like it happened to you? I'm really celebrating this like I won $38 million. Okay. Like, I really feel like, you know, we got this popping for our family. And thank you to all the listeners, all the people who take this energy seriously. I got hella confirmations, you know, since I've been working, since I did the Cali video. It's just like my energy just went to a whole nother level, because I knew it was crazy, because everybody was just hitting me up after I did the Cali video, like, yo, that Cali video, yo, that Cali video. And I'm just like, yo, don't talk to me, talk to Cali. Like, you know, it ain't me. So I want to bring reference to Corinne Gaines when we referencing energies and deities and energies that we need to tap into. A lot of y'all will get into the Vishnus and the Oshuns and the things of that nature, which is cool, established. You can Google them, things like that. But there is a new crop of gods and deities and entities that, you know, have transitioned, but have the power. I'm not about to get into everything that I reference, but I said that she is the overall divine mother, goddess energy, reincarnate, and this is just a confirmation for me. So before I get into the lunar eclipse and everybody talking about this and everybody talking about that, I think y'all need to do y'all research and tap into this young lady and develop a personal relationship with the divine feminine. When we reference menstruation or give me 1 second. Had to shut the door real quick, family. But yeah, when you referencing particular energies that exist, I'm just going to share personal experience and personal wisdom about what's been actually working for me. Obviously, I haven't been doing a lot of videos because the energy has been that intense. And instead of us like communing online, I've been making it my personal mission to connect like face to face, hand to hand, you know, that type of energy, because this internet shit is weird. Like, it's weird that, you know, people are in a vortex or in a paradigm where they're trying to get attention from people that don't really know them. And that to me is a real sickness. But the truth is really found in your personal talent and your personal relationship with your divine source. Like, I think it's really important that we wash away all of the glamour, all of the fakery, fuckery, and deal with some real truth of actual energy. So with this full moon presentation, I just want to deal with it because how I understand it, and of course everybody can correct me if I'm wrong, but there are some fundamental truths that are not discussed in everyday conversation. And because of that, when referencing galactic information or, you know, spiritual concepts, the actual modality of facts will have the the truth be kind of muddled or kind of missed, where like a person will say, well, I've been having a bad day, or I've been experiencing negative things. And I'm just like, how could you be experiencing negative things while the sun is in Gemini? And if you don't understand the basic fact fundamentals of the astrological concept of Gemini, which is the third astrological concept, it's not the first one, right? So a lot of people don't understand the first astrological concepts and like the root of it, and then the Kabbalistic correspondence, and how understanding these is just like technology for the soul. So a lot of my work is actually suppressed online. Like I don't get that push or that kind of, that kind of vibe where it's getting spread, because the reality and the facts of what I'm speaking to is human beings having a soul. So when you reference a lunar eclipse, you're referencing the soul concept coming to a head. So either you are an individual who has the concept of a soul and you're working with it and you're dealing with it, or you're a human and you're talking about how bad your weekend was, or how it's been a tough time for you, and all of these human conditions. And these things can exist in the realm of souls. So this fundamental fact being overlooked and kind of, spoken over is the main reason why we can't actually grow or connect, or you might feel disconnected, because within you is the truth. However, if there are existential vibrations, then you won't be able to get to the truth. So all of this is in the energy of Gemini, which the sun is going to be in sidereal Gemini. So when you reference the full moon, we're dealing with sidereal Sagittarius. Okay. And this particular energy is about difficulties. And how do you overcome your difficulties? Within these astrological symbols is the solution within itself. But if you don't do the research in the astrological symbols, and you just kind of, so generally when you have a problem, you have to let your problem go and deal with actual resources, and then come back to your problem and then solve it. But if you have your problem front and center, then your filter is your pain. So everything you speak, everything you exist on is through this filter of pain, which doesn't exist in just the beginning phases of astrological conversation of Gemini. Gemini is Latin for the twins. So the twin is a reference of a human being having a soul. This is numero uno factomundos, right? And if you talk to a human being and you bring up this Gemini concept, where you need to be a little bit more gentle, you need to be a little bit more self-reflecting, you have to be more affirmative with what you say, you need to be a little bit more creative, you need to be a little bit more imaginative, because if you're affirming negative concepts, your soul then becomes an unbiased contributor to your insanity, because you're living life unknown about this serious fact of just basic, the same way you breathe is the same way you exhibit or work with a soul. So if you come around and you're dealing with people from this human trauma of what you experienced in the past, but you're not dealing with the avatarish nature of this human existence, this matrix that doesn't truly exist, this malleable matrix that, I got a whole book that is like, it don't even matter, because it's like, I'll just be platinum on the streets. I'll just do the work on the streets, because it's like, I can tell people like, well, program your subconscious mind at night, period. And then the person that just it goes in one ear and not the other. It's the people that want to talk to me and deal with me, but then won't like deal with me in the reference of, not saying that you got to buy my book, because shit, I buy my book. What are you talking? I buy my book, right? I buy my book a lot, right? So beyond the point of spending money, because a lot of people would be like, well, you just trying to hustle, or you trying to sell. I'm trying to get you to program your matrix. And I'm not writing in my Manipulating the Matrix book your reality. I'm writing my reality. And I just know that this is the time. Because when we wrote the book, me, Hancho, and Shireen, we wrote the book from January to now. So if you brought the book early, you got the first edition, it was just from January to now. This is what you call a prenumerable shadow moon. Prenumerable is just a pre-shadow or a precursor of what's to come. In Mayan mythology, which is more Mayan astrology, which is more lunar in its expression, this is the new year. This is the last moon of the cycle, meaning that the new moon will be the first new moon of the solar year, and the sun will be conjunct Sirius. And it's just a lot of celestial solar energy that is not about this human shit. So a lot of conversations can be somewhat convoluted, but we have to be evolved in our conversation. We have to deal with the facts of humanity. Now, it's people on here, like, you can exit out of my live. You can stop listening to my podcast if you don't have a soul. The idea is that you have a soul. Now you have to learn the mechanics and how to deal with it and interface with it. Meaning that this whole thing is internal. This is the sun in Gemini. This whole thing is a conversation. Like, is your inner child suppressed? Is your sexual self suppressed? Like, do you love your partner? Do you love your family? Or are you just a victim of circumstances? And as the moon progressed from the second decan of Sag into the third decan of Sag, are you oppressed? And to a certain level, we all have oppressions or levels that we're trying to reach, or feeling like, something is holding us back. And that could be a reality. But then I guess as you go into this full moon energy is how you react to it. Like, I'm getting on this live and I'm speaking at the same time that I know it's a lot of chaos around me. But if I remain calm, I'll center, and the chaos will, it'll dissipate over time. Because I realize that I have a message, and I realize that there's things that I need to say. So when you have this connection with self, you want to express and you want to share. When you don't have this connection with self, you want to isolate and you don't want to be involved with people, and you seeking a righteous explanation for your isolation. And there is no righteous explanation. You possibly need more healing, and you need more solutions, and you need more positivity that can't come from the external. It's not going to come in the future. If you manifest something, it's not going to come from that either. Where it comes from is loving and communicating and trusting your soul. And as the sun is knee deep in Gemini, this energy is not going to go anywhere, because we also have Mercury in the same space. Just intensifying this energy where you could be, there's one or two things. There's this human isolation, selfish energy, but then there's also this, I've never been in a better position in my life. So I just want to open the door for people who are dealing with tough places and tough areas, that there is an answer. There is a solution. So you don't have to think about committing suicide. You don't have to think about leaving your wife and leaving your family, moving out of town. There is a solution. There is a solution, because when you study astrology and you understand the energies that people are dealing with when they don't have a solution, the vice versa, this is mental illness and mental health. So I'm not speaking to the people who got it all together and having a good day today, because this video and this message ain't for you. This message and this video is for somebody who is having a really tough time and they don't know what to do. And of course they can laugh and smile with their family and, you know, eat barbecue and things of that nature, hit a little liquor, you know, smoke a little weed and have a good day. When they go home with their to-go plate and put it in the freezer and lay in bed, they still lost in the sauce because they don't have anyone to talk to. But the reality is, in this Gemini season, you have a divine connection. So as we deal with the spiritual aspects of this full moon, I just want to remind you guys of what this energy is and give you a solution. Once again, for the people who are having a tough time, not for the people that are A-OK, supercalifragilisticexpialidocious, because I know what you're showing on the internet, you know, whatever latent ability that has activated within me over these past 2 weeks. It's like I see through the glamour. And it's not to say what you post on the internet. It's about how you live your life every day, every moment. How much love can you give in a whole day? And from the moment I wake up to the time I go to sleep, I'm constantly giving love to the point that it just, I don't have time for nothing else. And I guess because I'm studying this information and I'm going over these concepts over and over again, teaching these classes, doing these readings, just constantly dealing with this information, it's just clicking, okay? It's just making sense. And I want to show you guys this part that I kind of highlighted from Tamiko Fisher's blog, where she was referencing first these Nakshatra Purva Asada, and then this right where this comma is at, naturally making this time to connect with the guides who unshakably hold up a clear mirror and point the way from unreal to the real. Now, connect with the guides. This is your choice. You have any choice, but you need a guide. When you think about it and it's just you and you're just this human, you already at a disadvantage. Okay? Because that's like dishonor. And when you dishonor the spirit, it's like if you don't open yourself up to a reality, then you're not going to be able to get the benefits from it. So the guy that I've been connecting with is Corinne Gaines, Tina Marie. And that's probably, I've been just really dealing with those two energies. And I've just kind of just always been listening to their music. I've kept them in my heart. I'm reading up on their story. And then I'm just watching energy shift and things of that nature. I'm hearing how they speak to me. And as I'm dealing with energies that have transcended, but, you know, hold a specific spiritual frequency to me, I'm dealing with the benefits. DJ Screw. It's just it's not a lot of energies, but it's a few energies that I'm really, really vibing with. So I'm saying that if you are feeling out of the loop, turn on your favorite music from back in the days. Listen to your favorite speeches, but put up a picture of your ancestors. But deal with the unreal. Deal with the fantasy, deal with the creativity, deal with the imagination for a sustained period of time. To be like, well, I heard R. Kelly CD hood, ain't nothing happen. You know, first of all, don't nothing happen to you when you listen to R. Kelly now, but your house smell like pee. Okay, so, you know, you can't, that's not the right energy to be dealing with, but, you know, you got to be really clear on what you're dealing, what guide you want to deal with, because when you deal with these guys, they're actually breaking this veil through. Like, you can't make it up. All you got to do is revert back to the Corinne Gaines video. I even had a comment, what made you talk about Corinne Gaines? Because I needed her family to get that $38 million. I needed her family to get that money back. I just felt a surge of energy. It was a channel. It was a conversation. It was all about her and her and that spiritual Medusa energy that's rising. And it was unreal at first, but now it's real. And now it's ubiquitous. Like, everybody is a result of the menstruation of our mothers. And one of the things she said, that there is no wrong answer. So your life is what you say. Okay? What you want is what you say. If you saying things you don't want, you affirming that to your soul, and you making the unreal real anyways. It could be positive or negative. My thing is, stay in the positive vibrations and start saying wild shit. Start saying how much millions you about to get. Start saying how many boyfriends you about to manifest this year. Like, really say what you want. Because when I'm doing consultations, the main thing and the main blockage is, I don't know what I want. And if you don't know what you want, there's nothing anybody can do that can help. Like, there's nothing nobody can do to help you. Like, do you want an ice cream sandwich? Do you want to go to Mars? Like, do you want to go to Disney World? Like, whatever you want, you got to come up with a plan and then figure out the energies that'll assist you along the way. However, if you don't know what you want, there's nothing that anybody can do to help you. But then a lot of times it's more or less of this. I get it though, why you don't. I get why people don't want to dream and want to, say, I want to be in a relationship with you. And another thing, when I did the Cali video or the solar eclipse video, I told y'all about the polygamous relationships and things like that. And then y'all see the Jada Pinkett and Will Smith play out like that, how it played out. It's like, nah, that's not weird, or nah, it's just real rap. Like, this monogamy energy is weird. The true energy is more of an authentic. Even if you gonna be with one person, people be going outside of their relationships from time to time, and it's like, nah, they don't do that because if they don't get caught. And then when they get caught, they be looking, everybody want to talk about them, but you can see that's just shadow projection. Why? Because it's probably going on in their house. They probably dealing with a dude that's talking to somebody else, or they dealing with a woman that I just seen a girl, she be having a lot of dudes, and she call them her hoes. She be like, good morning, hoes. Let me buy you some food while you at work. Like, it's crazy. But all I'm saying is that we just need to be authentic in our relationships, and so you don't be on TMZ having a red table talk, because all it is, of course, is a conversation. But if you are in a place of constantly lying and constantly, riding that guilt trip to, nowhere, then you're never, these conversations that I'm having and this growth that the collective is experiencing, you'll just be on the outside looking in, thinking either somebody lying or somebody trying to trick you or somebody trying to do some, razzmatazz. Listen, my message is clear, and it's been clear since I got on this damn YouTube. The idea is to learn your soul, because when you learn your soul gives you what you need without you asking for it. Your soul is your protector, your provider. You don't need a man. You need a soul, because you bring that soul into a relationship. Now you buying me Jordans or something, and you giving me a back rub and, putting on my do-rag or something like that, because you just want to give a brother love because your soul is so powerful and your love is abundantly flowing. But it's a lot of energies that ain't fully there yet, because they like this hurt damsel in distress energy, because they feel as though this damsel in distress is going to attract. But what is going to attract is a dude that's a damsel in distress, and that's what they call trauma bonding. So the idea is to develop soul relationships, or soul mates. Right? Two mates is two energies that have acquired their souls and now have a relationship built on soul communication, authenticity, honesty, communication, focus, devotion, love, heart energy, sacral energy, just advice. Just level me up while I level you up. You like, it's just a whole different energy when you dealing with a divine energy, and you giving them that respect to not depend on you, to depend on their soul, and they're giving you that same respect. And then you start to see how this thing actually works, right? Because the Purva Asada is representing the liberation of your soul, but it's Sagittarius and it's Gemini, so these is mutable energies or dualistic energies, meaning that it can go two ways. A lot of people don't integrate or be proactive, more reactive to the situation. But when you deal with the other side or the middle path or your strength principle, what are you dealing with? You are dealing with the energy that allows you to see 10 steps ahead. And in this world, you want to be 10 steps ahead because you don't want to experience negative energies and negative and pain and things of that nature, or mistakes, and, you know, all of these kind of, you know, energies that let you know you out of sync. Spilled coffee on me. You know, you out of sync, you out of alignment. Because generally you ain't supposed to spill your coffee. You know, you're supposed to feel good. You know, it's some pain. It's energies that you have to actually deal with water, because what you're dealing with is the sun is really hot because it's conjunct Sirius, and the moon has a more of a cosmic tint to it. So if you have all of these hot burning like energies and you just absorbing it vicariously like a plant or your dog or a cat or a coyote or some shit, you know, just a natural earth being absorbing a natural earth energy, then your Kundalini starts to rise. This becomes problematic if you don't know the energies that allow you to be balanced with a rising Kundalini, because a rising Kundalini is pure fire and it's intangible, so you can't see it, you can't feel it, nor can you buy it at a store, right? What you have to do is understand it, and when you understand it, you have to then temper it. How do you temper it? With water, right? So your water intake has to increase, because that's going to allow the fire to kind of balance out and create the steam, and the steam is what powers the train to move forward. It's not really complicated. Just drink more water to level out your Kundalini energies, because if you're not drinking enough water, then this intangible energy is dehydrating you first and foremost. And that's pretty much it after it's all said and done. Because if your cells is in dehydration mode, your cells is in like survival mode. And when your cells is in survival mode, you lock down. And all you can think about is whatever is in your vicinity, what's around you. But when you start to drink water, you begin to deal with the same substance that deals with the oceans and the firmament and the expanse of Akasha and things of that nature. And the more water you drink, the more you level out your energies, especially now. It's really hot, you know, and you go outside and you don't have enough water in your body, you start sweating, then you don't have nothing to replace that sweat. You know, your cells in your body is going to go into lockdown. And it don't matter how many meditations you're doing. It don't matter how deep you think you is. It don't matter how many views you got on YouTube. You dehydrated, game over, okay? However, the energy of water can be programmed to what you want it to be. So there's not a water bottle that I'm not writing my intentions on. Are you crazy? How you going to be drinking water and not programming it? It's like getting on a computer, right? Who gets on a computer and just stares at the desktop? Who gets on a computer and just stares at the desktop? You got to program that water. So when you actually program that water, generally you have desires such as fame, wealth, charity, affinity, so forth and so on. However, it's just more or less of the Kundalini. So fame and wealth could just be Kundalini, which is like a super sensory intelligence that allows you to just to know. Right? You just know. And so as we enter into this full moon energy, I would like to call it a gnosis full moon, and really establishing that energy of knowing, but you have to temper your fire with your water. Because it's not all intangible. It's tangible in the intangible. So this is an intangible space. However, there's a really keen interest on water, whether you're talking about Appas, who rules the Purva Asada, or Varuna, the god of water and air, or the sky. So within this fire energy of Sagittarius, there, and then we have the moon, which controls the tides. So in just the simplest sense, drink more water. So the second point, and we're talking about the Purva Asada Nakshatra, the overexpansive nature led by contraction. So this is basically a understanding that whether you're doing something based on reaction or you're intentionally doing something new and different. And the only way you do something new and different is if you know your fears, you know your difficulties, you know the stuff that you have trouble with. Because it's different if you just taking headshots. It's like you taking headshots because you know you kind of chubby, but you got a cute face. So you just keep showing your face. And then people meet you in person. They're like, what's going on? Like I'm just, you're catfishing me, but you're not catfishing. Like, you're half fishing me. Right. So it's just like, you can portray an image online all day and get that shit off now. Like, it's just all smoke screens, bots, artificial intelligence. And if you got enough money, not even enough money, you could just spend it the right way, let's just say. And you can have a internet, yeah, funny, an internet profile or whatever that you pay for all your views and your followers and stuff like that. And you start to kick it with this person on some spiritual shit, and they don't know nothing. And they get real like that. It's weird, man. It's weird because a lot of us got real callings, like in the real world, but we trying to establish ourselves online. And it's like people in the world getting this shit off, like left and right, like making real money. And it's like, I'll just break it down. So we went over this week, we went to we did a show, me and my wife, we did a live show, where, you know, we was doing, it wasn't a fair, it was just an event. And, you know, my wife had her thing, I had my thing. And, it was a bunch of established people. You know, a bunch of readers, you know, niggas with the big signs and shit with their picture on there, and, you know, bold print, psychic, medium, clairvoyant. I can tell you about your grandfather. You know, I'm just, you know, it's low key intimidating. They got, you know, the big boy chairs, the crystals and stuff. You know, I had my crystals, you know, I had my thing. We had our thing together. Our stuff was nice. But we ain't want to do it. Like, I didn't tell nobody about it online. I wanted to just kind of go and just meet people in the city that I'm in. So I have no intentions of nothing, like zero intention, just kind of just going, you know. But it was so moving to do readings, right? It was mainly like 90% Caucasian, but the 10% of melanated energies there was like hood though. You know what I'm saying? It was like real hood shit, like real hood mystic shit. You know what I'm saying? And it was like, they was just in a line, you know, they was just waiting, you know, and just to get a reading. And, you know, it was like really, it wasn't like they was conscious or nothing about Bobby Hemmett or nothing like that. Just regular run of the mill, you know, fresh from church's chicken type of energy, just, you know. But when I was having them face-to-face conversations, I was seeing the goddesses, I was seeing the energies, and I was just speaking to the energies and just doing the readings. And, you know, when I was doing the readings to the goddesses, it was just like, they was just crying and just, you know, everybody was crying. I was just emotional, like, you know, and it was just like, okay, this is what I'm supposed to be doing. And my wife, you know, my wife, 8.5 months pregnant and shit, just holding it down while I'm doing the readings, and she getting her products off, and she thinking like, this is what I'm supposed to be doing. And it wasn't for no clout. You know, it wasn't a reactionary thing. It was a proactive thing. And, you know, we sold everything. Like, when I say we went there heavy and left light, but, you know, just like, you know, I used to sell crack. You know, I ain't never had a day like I had, you know, just killed them, you know. And I'm just thinking like, man, this is what we need to do. And it just was like, this is my wheel of fortune. And this is kind of how I need to kind of look forward. So I was just like, all right, I'm going to get the QuickBooks, and, you know, I got to get my budget together, family. I got to get some things in order, because I see an opportunity, and it's not based on whether people like me or not. It's based on my talent. And I had to know that I had a talent, because generally a lot of people be wanting to wipe my ass, and, you know, I don't know the difference. You know, everybody is just like, oh, hood, I love you, and I can't, and then I don't like that. You know, I don't like I'm here to do what I'm here to do, but I want to give you a reason to love me at the same time. And generally, these videos is not a reason for you to love me. If that makes sense. Is more of a growth that I've just been expressing with you guys and showing you guys. But in the real to real, it's your family. It's the people closest to you. It's your community. It's your city that need you. And if you're using the internet to escape, then you're not looking at this thing clearly, and you're going to have difficulties and troubles, because the energies that want to assist you, they exist in nature. They don't exist online. They don't exist online. The energies that exist online is sketchy. You know what I'm saying? And shit. It's not this online shit that's gonna save you. It's really the energy that comes from within. So that's a long way of saying your overexpensive nature is led by contraction. You have to be proactive in this matrix. Like, people walk by you every day that you don't talk to, and then you get online and try to talk to me, talking about you love black men. It don't read. It's like, it's just me because I'm talking about this spiritual shit, and you interested in it. You think I'm safe, but I'm really not safe. I'm a motherfucker. Like, I'm a run you through the ringer of 4 or 5 times, because you don't know me, right? You don't know me. Like, and so it's like a lot of, and it's not me, it's a lot of people on the internet. Don't fantasize over what you see on the internet. Engage in your community, and that'll make your walk a lot easier, because the event, we wasn't supposed to be there. There are rituals that need to be reversed in your community, and when you reverse the rituals, you'll be rewarded. So we was traveling down the street that was heavily ritualized, and maybe billions of people over time has rolled up and down the street and never even noticed the ritual. In your mind, you can notice a ritual being done in your mind and undo it. However, you got to have your third eye open to see it. If your third eye open, if your awareness can notice a 5th dimensional ritual, you can reverse it and then deal with the rewards. So we're traveling, we do a full 5-mile ritual, reverse ritual, get the energy back to the ancestors, let nature run its course. Ashe. Give your offerings, retrace your step backs, close the doors that you opened along the way, don't even worry about it. And then you'll have your intuition come into play. So my intuition came into play at the end of the reverse. So I go into a store, long story short, it's to connect for us to be, doing our little live show gigs. But if we ain't do the ritual, then we would never even have been on the street. My wife would have never even had the intuition to say, pull over, stop right here. What you want from out of here? Nothing. My wife don't ever be wanting nothing. Be like, why'd you want me to stop? I just felt like you wanted to go in there. Just see what you want. Go in there and see what you want. Probably something in there you want. All right, you being intuitive right now, so I'm gonna go and take your lead. See, this just like simple stuff. But if you trying to make this shit complicated and you reacting to some personal shit, then you already 10 steps behind, when in the reality you can be 10 steps ahead. And the third point, proud, obstinate, oversized ego. Do I need to get like, come on, man, like it's everything, right? It's not who you portray to be. At this point, I'm not portraying to be shit. Cause I was on this spiritual shit when this shit wasn't cool. I was talking about Oshun and Gemini before Beyonce. Let's be clear. When I was talking about Oshun and Beyonce, Oshun and Gemini, Beyonce was talking about surfboard and riding waves and things of that nature. It wasn't cool to figure out your history. But by having that connection to the divine, they always kept me humble. Always kept my head down and always kept moving forward. And understanding when people lash out and speak negativity, it ain't towards me. It's towards their ignorance to the fact that they have a soul. And then this last point is the ambitious individuals. And this ambition falls in the realms of like just being busy. Oh, I got to do this for my grandma. I got to do this for my auntie. I got to do this for my job. I got to do this, do that. For what? What are you doing what you're doing for? And then the diet. Oh, I got to fast. I got to eat. I got to eat clean. I got to fast. Or I got to eat meat. I ain't going to never go vegan. You stupid. I'm going to eat meat forever. It's just you got to find a balance. You got to find a temperance with this full moon, because full moons are not easy. A lot of people will be like, oh, it's a full moon, I'm going to do a spell. I'm like, where did you find that information out at? Full moons are tough. And the reality of how to make a full moon easier is to know how to actually make it easier. But you got to have a guru. You got to have somebody to tell you how this thing works out. And for me, it was the energy of Korean Games that just kind of just leveled me out. And then to kind of put the icing on the cake, I just been dealing with. So I was listening to all of the Tina Marie albums to figure out which was the coldest one. And for me, it's just been that Star Child album. I just run that whole thing. I just run Tina Marie, Star Child when I'm in the car, when I'm about to go to sleep, when I'm trying to study. Like, it's just what it is. And when you're dealing with energies, the real key is don't want nothing. Just try to listen and learn. When you get the ear of somebody you interested in, don't have an intention. Because that intention, if a person pick up that you got an intention in getting to know them, they not going to want to fuck with you. Because you're not the first person to have an intention and send them on a doozy. So generally, if you want to deal with somebody, you got to deal with yourself to know what you can give that person. Because if you don't have nothing to give to that person, you need to leave that person alone. Okay? Because when you pulling on people's energy, you taking their own personal energy for granted. And, we can't have that. We can't have that, when we got so much of an abundant energy that we could work with. So And that with the full moon being in Sagittarius, of course, we're going to reference this temperance energy, which is channeling the divine energy. And when you channel the divine energy, you bring about perfect harmony. And this perfect harmony, when you dealing with the divine, it's just like you just dealing with miracles. Everything that I wanted, I got. And then it's to a point where it's just like, damn, I cannot believe that I'm in this place that I'm in. I can't believe it, but it's not me that's bringing it about. I'm really redirecting my spiritual practice, and I'm living every day like it's sacred. I look at my children like they're sacred. It's not something that I'm taking for granted. It's a beautiful space. And it gets here through repetition. It gets here through having this conversation. I could have said this shit, 2-3 years ago and just stopped making videos. But the reality is, it's real easy to forget. It's real easy to forget that you have a soul. It's real easy to forget that the energy of divinity is assisting you at every turn. All you have to do is bring your awareness to it. All you have to do is begin to affirm that the possible is just another way of saying I'm possible, right? Impossible is just saying that I'm possible, right? It's just perspective. And with that perspective, you can change your life. So in the space of understanding this full moon, I wouldn't go into this full moon affirming anything that I didn't want to come to pass. And if you want something to come to pass, don't be afraid to say it. At least to yourself. At least in a journal before you go to sleep, write down what you want. And if you don't know what you want, you know that you want to know what you want. We got to be more desire centered. We got to be more focused in what we want and knowing how to get there and knowing that our soul will assist us. It shouldn't be hard. It should be really simple to actually channel this energy. But if you deny your difficulties, then you won't be able to channel shit because you already perfect. No reason to tap in. Like, we're ants, bro. We're ants. We're literally ants. And there's nothing important about really nothing. So in order to figure this shit out, you have to go within yourself to even figure anything out, because this external world is just vast and it's just people, it's just building this landscape, and it don't really mean anything. But when you start to make connections as opposed to dealing with attachments, then you'll begin to see the purpose of it. But you can't establish a connection externally without having a connection within. And this is what this sun energy is trying to remind us. This is what this moon energy is trying to remind us. So temperance or alchemy. So I want to reference these real quick just to finish up and just deal with like the minor arcana of how we actually look at this astrology. In this world, everybody got a personalized truth. So you either gonna spend energy on arguing somebody else's personalized truth, or you're going to spend your energy on creating and crafting your own. The truth that you have 2 boyfriends has to be crafted and created by you. Because if you wait for society to say it's okay to have 2 boyfriends, you might not reach that point. But you have to begin to start painting your picture and living in the picture that you create. And if you want something that everybody else say you're supposed to have, or you want something that, people say you're not supposed to want that, then what you're holding yourself back by trying to live up to other people's expectations. I say that you know exactly what you want. You're just afraid to not get it. But I'm saying live with that. Because maybe you metamorphosize into something else. Maybe it's a reason for you to want that toxicity. Maybe it's leading you somewhere. I will get into a toxic situation in a heartbeat. Maybe it's gonna, birth itself into something. It never does. But hey, I know what I want, So this moon in its simplest form is going to activate some energies. And these activations is going to attract whatever you want. So it's positive in that sense. But of course, because I got bros that's attracting and living their best life. And I also got bros on the edge and the brink of suicide and don't know left from right. So I understand why one is succeeding, and I also understand why one is failing. And it's clear to me. It may not be clear to you, but it's clear to me. And all this rhetoric of all this extraterrestrial black consciousness, mumbo jumbo, CIA, informant energies, it's cool. Y'all can continue to confuse the people, but y'all day gonna come too. There's no reason to be talking all day, all night, every day, all night, because the message is simple. You are the power. You are the manifester. You are the observer. You are what we came here to see. And it's only when you realize that this thing starts to move. So this time, this energy, as Pluto conjuncts Jupiter, what is referencing is this is the time for the creatives to create their new world. This is the time for artists to paint a new picture. This is a time for dreamers to dream a new dream. This is a time for the gypsy to travel into new and distant lands. This is a time for all of those individuals to realize that they are needed even more now than they have ever been. But they'll never get to the point that they need to get to until they start to realize that it is them that they need to begin to connect within. That sounds a little confusing. Let me reword it. You need to realize that you need to connect with self and hold that resonance till you start to attract energies that align with your resonance. But if you forget your resonance and you tap into a realm of loneliness and you start to attract lonely energy, you'll just have to deal with those consequences. So, if you think that I pulled this out of like a random headspace that was, doing some super channeling, you're wrong. I've actually been studying and doing this astrology thing for quite some time now. Up until the point that, I got an opportunity by the spirit doula to teach my own class. And so I'm not taking that opportunity lightly. I got a seat at the table and I ain't getting up no time soon. So if you wondering why I'm not doing videos so much, is because me and Spirit Doula been cooking in the lab and the class is turning out phenomenal. Once again, if I don't get on here and, when women come into your life and change your life for the better, like that just set the bar like super high. And then like it's weird talking to people. Like it's weird talking to people when people just kind of want to talk to you, and it's just like, no, I'm still a man with a family. I still need help out here. Like, I can help you as much as I can, but when somebody just is extending the hand of of aid and real help. Like, y'all gotta understand where I'm coming from. Like, it's just hard to deal with people that just want to pull on you as opposed to somebody that want to give to you. So I just be just hitting up Spirit Doula like, hey, giving you an update. I'm okay today, you know. Just I'm a person that really nobody really gave me shit. So, you know, when somebody, and what I realized is that I changed my vibration, I changed my frequency, and I really opened my heart up to love, you know. And I just remember seeing the Spirit Doula on Dreamwise's channel, and I was just like, every word she said, I was just like, it was just like darts. just like, this is exactly what I needed to hear at that particular moment. And, you know, we just was a continued conversation, and it was just like powerful, man. Dreamwise is just a powerful medium. And, you know, all of these things exist because, you know, you have an opportunity and you meet that opportunity, and then you just advance. A lot of this would have never happened if I would have got an opportunity and I was just on some half-ass shit, on some, just taking it for granted. But every moment was valued, or invaluable, I should say, at this particular point. And, you know, we're just teaching astrology, and we're learning astrology, and we're growing, and I'm just focused on that, you know. I'm going into the lab, I think Monday, finish off astrology 2. And then beginning next week, I'm going to finish off astrology 3. Then I'm going to work on some additional courses, but that's for Spirit Doula. For my own personal, I got the Chakra Nova course, July 18th and July 19th. Me and Prime Harmonic are doing a live Zoom class where we'll be activating the root chakra. I got 3 guaranteed exercises that's going to activate your root chakra. And then I'll give the benefits of activating your root chakra, like exclusive tantric, like exclusive energies that, you know, I'm not just going to be talking about. I'm going to be really showing you why or how I activate my root chakra and what it means. And then to, you know, hit the ball out the park, we're going to have Prime Harmonic lead us in a guided root chakra activation meditation that, you know, you're just not going to get for free. So that's the 18th and the 19th. And of course, y'all can, you know, hit the links for all of the material that I've been putting out. It's really been a busy, prosperous time for me. I've never had this much success. I've never been doing these many things. And I'm not bragging or nothing like that, but I'm just here to say it's not me. It's more of my subconscious mind. It's more of my programming. And that's what's actually allowed me to be what I am. So everything that has advanced me in the realms of spirituality, I know that a lot of people ain't there yet. So that's why I'm doing what I'm doing. But once y'all all get there, I ain't going to be, you know, it's just for people who need it. But other than that, I'm going to keep moving because I know that I'm needed, you know. So I just got to continue to find that within myself, motivate myself, and, you know, begin to help others. I really want people to sign up with the astrology course because from there you'll get to create your own courses. What I'm going to do with the astrology 2 is I want people to start YouTube pages so I can start supporting their YouTube pages. And that's really how I learned astrology. You ain't going to learn astrology just easy. You're going to have to, you know, get some skin in the game. So I'm just going to do some more advisory. This second part of the course is just really teaching you how to be an astrologer. Like, I'm only talking to you as if you're an astrologer, you're booking clients and things like that. So once again, it costs money. It's not free. So if you were missed or you don't feel like you don't want to spend money, I totally get it. I was there, but I've been doing like my QuickBooks, and I realized, I done spent easily $15,000 just on self investments, before COVID. You know what I'm saying? So it's just like $15,000 on just self-help and mentorship and coaches and just money of things that I've spent to elevate myself, elevate my career. So when I present information and I ask for like $20 or $100 and people be like, oh, that's too much money, I really just laugh at this shit because this shit funny to me at this point. But with that being said, man, I can't say no more. I'm about to go get me some hookah and just enjoy the rest of this night. I hope y'all do the same. I will see you guys in the future. Be sure to join me on Patreon. We got the $5 readings jumping off. That's going to happen on the 9th. Readings, I would say don't book a reading from me right now because I'm entirely too busy. I mean, if you need a reading, book. But I'll be having a baby real soon. And like I said, if you need a reading or something, I'll be there for you. But, when I promote my readings, I'll promote like, yeah, I'm doing readings and I'm in that vibe. But just right now, I'm just like, I'm a city boy right now. I'm just out here in these streets, just trying to get it how I live and take care of my kids. So, with that being said, I will tap in sometime next week because I do want to tap in with the family and catch a word with y'all, but I'll do that probably around Thursday or Friday when things kind of ease up. But it's the first of the month, like Bone Thugs and Harmony, so we got to get to it. I see y'all on the flip side. This the Hood Mystic representing hoodmystic.com. I want to thank y'all guys for y'all time, y'all patience. I'll see y'all. Peace.